Yesterday's class are not.
Okay.
Yesterday's class is pending from my side.
Okay, fine. Today I planned to start the CICD part actually. Okay. So everyone know the term CICD, continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery. So we go through some basic understanding for this new technology, I mean CICD. Yeah. So I believe you all are know the basic concept, right? Why we use CICD, I mean DevOps, CICD pipeline in software development lifecycle, how fast each deliveries nowadays happen, and integration with the different teams and different tools. We are creating CICD tools with different tools, right? All of you know. Anyone have any doubt regarding CICD? I mean, any new one here? If anyone, then I will explain from start.
Yeah, I think it's better to start from the beginning.
Okay. So, yep. I will explain with a real world example. Okay. Got it. So, yep. Okay. Consider, okay. This is a well, okay.
Your voice, your screen is not visible, sir.
Oh, sorry. Okay. This is a well, okay. Well. So, and consider this is a flat or home, okay. Okay. Yeah. And the top of the building, I mean, this is a building. I mean, this is consider this is assume that a flat or a home, anything. So in top of the home, I mean the building, there is a water tank, right? This is a water tank. Okay. So inside building there is so many pipes, I mean taps, right? Tap 1, tap 2, like that. Even in outside of the building there is tap. Okay. This is considered, this is a tap. Okay. There's a 3 tap. So yeah, just assume that if there is no pipeline, I mean there is no pipe fitting, how the, I mean the water flow, how the water flow flows from the well to tank, then to the each pipe. I mean when we are open the tap, I mean the endpoint where the users, I mean the user who use the water. Okay. So without pipeline, how the water flows from well to the tap? There is no connection, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's why we are set up. I mean, there is a motor, generator motor here. So there is a pipeline we put it inside the well. Then this is the motor, okay? Motor. And the pipeline comes to directly put in the water tank. So when the motor on, the water pumps and fill the tank, right? So again, we set up the pipeline. I mean, extend the pipeline from water tank to each of the tap, right? Got it. So this is a simple scenario. I mean, simple example. Okay, coming to DevOps pipeline. This is the same scenario. We are building the DevOps pipeline. So here now water. Okay. So when we turn on the motor, the motor will pumps up the water to the water tank. For consider we remove the water. Okay, and we remove the water. I mean, clean the water. Then we fill up some petrol or anything like that. Okay, petrol. So the next time when we starting the motor, what happened? The petrol will pump, right? Pump and it's pump into the water tank. Then each time we turn on the tap, okay, we will get the petrol, right? Got it. So similar way, I will explain in the DevOps life cycle. Okay. Here, well, anybody is explain what is well in our DevOps life cycle? No idea.
Git repository or some source code.
Right. Git is our well. And we can take the example. I mean, each tabs are a production, right? And the water tank will be like the one who serve the water to each each part. Okay, for example, there is a different taps in our building or outside the building. So the water tank will send the water to the each part, right? So we can consider water tank is a distribution. I mean, here in coming to DevOps, that's called CICD tool like Jenkins or Azure Pipeline or Circle CI. Here we can use Jenkins. Okay. So the well here is GitHub, the central repository where our codes belongs, and the tabs are the production where the end user utilize. Using the product. So this is one of the simplest, the example of a real world example. So I will remove the thing and directly go to the DevOps part. So this is our GitHub. And we use any continuous integration tool or continuous integration and continuous deployment tool. We can use, if we use Jenkins, then we can utilize both part. The continuous integration and continuous deployment, both are done by Jenkins. Okay. And for another case, we can only we can use a separate tool for integration and a separate tool for deployment. We can choose different tools. Like for that case, we can choose Circle CI for the integration part and Argo CD for the deployment part. So each scenarios are different, and as per the requirement, we need to do the setup as a DevOps engineer. So Today I will briefly explain the CA part, and I will show a simple CICD pipeline. I mean, for a starting. So here are the developers. These are the developers, and they push the code to the central repository. GitHub. Okay. So there is a a repository there for the application. That name is app1. Consider app1, and they will branching the main code, and they will update the code. Then they push the code and they merge the code. That's the part of the developers. Okay. Then from here we will work. Okay, from GitHub to Jenkins. This is the Jenkins. Jenkins is a continuous integration and continuous deployment tool. It's an open source tool and written with Java. So it's open source, so we can utilize. I mean, we can directly install. Yeah, we done the part actually. Then, yeah, we can integrate so many tools. Okay, for example, it's a Java-based application. Consider so. That case we need to build the Java application using one more tool like called Maven. So we need to install Maven. I mean, here we need to install Maven. Maven is a build tool for Java application. Okay. So the workflow is, for example, here in GitHub, there is a Java application, I mean Java code. So the Jenkins will push the code. Okay. Sorry, pull the code from GitHub. So the code is coming to the Jenkins. Then Jenkins send the code to the Maven for building. Got it. So the Maven built, then send back to the Jenkins for deployment. For code analysis we use SonarQube, right? SonarQube. After the SonarQube analyze its success, then we can store. Sometimes we need to store the image. Okay. So we can directly push the image to Docker Hub or any registry. Okay. Any available registry or the required registry, we need to integrate that part with the Jenkins or the CA tool. Docker Hub or Nexus repository. Yeah. So many repository are there. Okay. So most probably we are, I mean, push to the images to the Docker Hub. Then we can deploy. Directly deploy. The production part. Okay. Production environment. So the production environment may be virtual machine, or container, or Kubernetes. Okay. And in between, before the deployment, we need to test our application. That's called UAT testing. So in between, we need to set up the things with the, I mean, there is a tester team there. So they will test the application. Got it. Anyone have a doubt?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, you were saying if the code is is a Java-based code, you have to install Maven. So what if the code is a Python or other language? Or what are we going to install in the Jenkins?
You mean Python?
Yeah, suppose that the code is in Python based.
Yes, for Python. Yeah,
Mhm.
for Python, we can use package cloud. That will handle all of our package management and integration with our CICD tool. That's
I
a
don't get it. You say what? Can you give me the name again?
package cloud. Package cloud.
Okay, so
Is the
you're gonna
package
ins-
is the package cloud thing like MS Build or Maven?
Yes, yes.
Can you write that in the chat for me, please? I never hear about it. That's why.
Okay, I will text it. Package cloud. Any other doubt? I think all are fine, right?
Somebody put a question in the chat.
For Ansible, right? For Ansible, we using for the deployment part. For example, this part. Okay, I mean the deployment part. These are the CA part. Consider this is CA part, and this is a CD part. For CD part, we are sometimes we need to integrate with Ansible for the deployment. Okay, automate the deployment. This just for automating deployment only. Not integration for deployment, and we write up the Ansible playbook, and Ansible will automatically deploy to the corresponding infrastructure, if virtual machine or container or Kubernetes. Not for the all project. As per the project, we need to set up the automation part. Got it.
So we can skip Ansible if we don't want to automate the deployment.
Sorry.
Can we skip Ansible if we don't want to automate the deployment?
No. We can automate with Jenkins actually. Jenkins will automate the deployment as well, but some scenario we need to automate with Jenkins because there is so many requirement to deploying to different. I mean, for example, to different Kubernetes clusters there. So that case we need to automate the part actually. In the automation section, we will do the things using Ansible. Got it.
Okay.
Any other? So today, then we will create a simple pipeline, okay, using Jenkins. Just we configure Jenkins, okay, Jenkins, and do the basic configuration. The prerequisites are we have one GitHub repository. In that GitHub repository, we have one code. I mean, a application code. If I mean a sample application code. That's all. And then a Jenkins server, then a production server or live server. Okay. So this is a server. Consider we configure EC2 and install Jenkins inside the EC2. Then we will create one more server. That's for production. And we have one repository, GitHub. And yeah, there is a developers there. Okay, they will I mean they will change the code or update the code or anything. So there is a developer. For this scenario, I am the developer. So they will push and we integrate Jenkins with GitHub with Jenkins. Then we integrate Jenkins, I mean a production server with Jenkins. So this is a workflow.
For production side here, we can, I think you say we can install Kubernetes, right?
No.
What?
Yeah, we are using a virtual machine in this simple lab. So you will get, for example, we deploy our first class we deploy application, right? First we deploy in virtual machine, then we deploy in container, then I mean Docker, then we deploy the latest technology Kubernetes. So these are the three-way deployment. So we need to learn these three way of deployment. Okay, for example, this is the first one. I mean the virtual machine is the first one. That is, I mean containers, Docker is second one, and the hardest I mean the latest one is Kubernetes. Got it?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew, QA and UAT is in between the deployment part. I mean, before deployment, we need to quality check and quality analyze, then user acceptance test, all things we done in the, I mean, after the integration. Sorry, continuous integration. I'll cover the part QA part. We will do all the things in the full end-to-end CICD pipeline. We need to create a full end-to-end CICD pipeline, and there is a section for that. Okay. And this is a sample pipeline, so you will get more idea. Okay, how the flow will work. Okay, the same thing we need to elaborate with I mean different tools. Okay, got it. This is the base. I mean this is a skeleton of the pipeline. Okay, everyone. Then I quickly installed Jenkins.
If we have yesterday's instance, we can still use it, right?
No, I removed the machine.
No, no.
have-
My
yeah, if-
question is,
yeah.
if we have, we can.
If you have, then you can use that. The Jenkins. In my case, I delete all the machine after the lab. For Jenkins, I am going with the T3 medium. And Jenkins default port number is sorry.
80.
Right. So I am quickly install Jenkins. Meantime, I'm going to install the production server. Okay. For production server, we need to enable port number, I mean HTTP, okay, because that's the application server. And launch. So coming to Jenkins documentation, just to go through the leave the Amazon Linux too. It will work okay. I mean 2023. Because this is depreciated, I think, Amazon Linux too. Starting the Jenkins. And finally, we need to verify the Jenkins status. We need to wait sometimes to start the Jenkins. Okay, and the status is running. Now we need to cat the credential, login credential. Okay, fine. Then using the IP open with the port number. And copy the administrative password. Continue and install suggested plugins. So it will take some time. So in that time, we just go back to our instance page and go to the production machine. We need to configure something. I mean, some web server in that configuration. live server. Log into the live server using PowerShell. And doing nothing, just install the HTTP, I mean Apache. Yum install HTTPD. Yes. It's done. That's fine. Then go back to Jenkins. Yeah, Jenkins is ready. I'm providing the username, password, all things. Now the basics, user creation and all things done. Jenkins is ready. So here we install these both. I mean, the Jenkins server, we install Jenkins and we created a machine and we name it as a production virtual machine. Got it. So now we need a repository with some sample code, right? Am I right? And finally, we need to integrate each part. Here, this is a part 1. This is a part 2. And this is a part 3.
Hi. In production, that's the place you insert HTTPD, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you write that in the diagram here, please? Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, and we integrate each part. I mean, this is part 1, part 2, part 3. We integrate with the pipelines, right? That's called pipeline. Okay, and this is our Jenkins dashboard. So here, this is our dashboard. Okay, here so many options there, like people, build history, manage Jenkins, my views, and build queue, build executor status. All this is a user interface where we are working mostly when I mean as a DevOps engineer. For example, we can see here our integration parts and each stages status. All things we can see in our Jenkins dashboard. And where we configure, I mean, most probably we configure Jenkins inside the manage Jenkins. Okay, here so many configuration options here like systems, tools, plugins, cloud, nodes. We cover the node part, right, for the slave. So we come here, I mean, we open the node and we add some node for Jenkins slave, okay, and we done the thing with the node, then cloud, then coming to security, credential provider users. So many things there in Jenkins. So now we are going with the most, I mean, installing our plugins, okay, using the plugin. So here, our plugins there, install plugins there, advanced settings there. Install plugins means these are the installed plugins, okay. And plugins, build timeout. These are enabled. These plugins are enabled. Paddle, Java Mail API. As per the requirement, we need to enable different plugins for integrating each services. Yeah. For this scenario, I need to enable one of the service. So I will go there and enable the service. The service name is called publish over SSH. That's my plugin. I need to enable the plugin. The plugin name is publish over SSH. Anyone know the meaning? I mean, the term publish over SSH. It means something.
Storing using the SSH at some destination.
Yes, but it's not accurate answer actually. Exposing, yeah, it's kind of exposing, but it's actually, for example, the code from the development part. I mean, the GitHub to Jenkins. Okay, after Jenkins build the code.
Connection, right? Connection.
Yes, it's a kind of connection. I mean, after build, the Jenkins will need to push the code to the production environment, right? That pushing card is the publish. Okay, we need to publish the code. In which way? Over the SSH. How we log in our virtual machines? Via SSH, right? This is the SSH way. I am using SSH and now I am logging to my virtual machine. This way.
Are you going to create a service ID and provision the login for that service ID, or you will create a role and using our ID itself you will SSH?
Yes, we need to provide some details for SSH service. I mean, publish or SSH. After we enabling, I mean, installing the publish or SSH, it will, it will enable in our Jenkins dashboard, and not dashboard, Jenkins configuration part. Otherwise, it's not there. Yeah, Andrew, I will explain that. First, we need to cover the deployment part. Okay. So how we push the code to the production, that, for that scene we using publish or SSH. So the workflow is like, Jenkins know there is a machine. Okay. So I know there is a machine cloud. That's why I'm using SSH to the machine, right? So I am now here. So the same way Jenkins know there is a machine, and Jenkins have the PEM key, the IPs, all the things. Okay, so we provide all the things to Jenkins. So Jenkins know there is a SSH machine. There's a machine. So I need to SSH that machine, and I need to copy the application code to the corresponding directory. So Jenkins will do all the things. Got it? Previously, how we deploy application in simple scenario, we go to the machine, I mean, configure machine, then we install the HTTPD or Apache, then we go to the directory var or something like that, and we copy the index file there. Then we expose, I mean, restart the service. It will expose to the port number 80 or 8080, right? So here, all the things done by Jenkins. That is called continuous deployment. Got it? Anyone have any doubt? Yeah. So first we need to enable the plugin. I mean, install the plugin. So go to the available plugins. Here, so many plugins are there. As per the command, we need to install the plugins. Okay, for Kubernetes, Docker, so many things here. So here I am going to install publish over SSH. Yeah, this is the plugin. So I am just enable the tick mark and install. Yeah, I think it's installed completely, all success. So now we get the service in our configuration part. Otherwise, the power of SSH is not there. That's why we are enabling each plugins. Okay, I mean installing each plugins. So now how to see the power publish or SSH? Go to back to the manage Jenkins and go to systems. Okay. So scroll down. We can see the option, publish or SSH. Most probably it's down. Yeah, see, publish or SSH. Before this option is not here, before installing, okay. After installation, plugin installation, publish or SSH is shown here, okay. So here we need to provide some information about our production server. So fast phase is nothing we can forget. Leave the things, the path of the key, leave the things. Coming to key, we need to provide the key. The key means the PEM key of the production server. So here in my case, the production server PEM key is new.pem. So I just open the PEM key with a notepad or notepad is enough. Just to copy the entire key, copy and go back to the Jenkins, then paste under the key, okay, inside the key. Now I provide my production server PEM key. Now there is one option there, SSH server. So we need to add that. We need to add SSH server, okay. In my case, SSH server is but the production machine, right? So we need to give a name, any name for easily understanding or when we catch up the thing with the name. So I am providing production server. And the host name is the IP of the production server. This is on production and the IP, the public IP. This is a public IP. So I copy the public IP, paste it here. Okay. The username, easy to user. The default username of my machine. And we provide the remote directory. Okay. The remote directory means where we push the code to the production server. Where actually the code will belong.
Usually it may be where folder because HTTP module should understand it. Okay.
Yes. And after each of the thing, we need to test a configuration connection. So the Jenkins will test a connection with the production server. If any failure here, we need to dig more. Okay. Yeah, here you can see success. Got it. So the first part is done. We can directly apply and save. So here, this part is done. Okay. We successfully authenticate, create a service connection or there is a connection between the Jenkins and our production server. So Jenkins send one authentication to the production server and it's validate and the production is there, all things that then it will show some success right there. Okay. So the part is done. The second part is we need to go to the Jenkins and create a freestyle project. So go back to Jenkins dashboard. This is the dashboard. And here we can create a new item. this is a way we creating a pipeline, okay? And first we need to provide a name like test app. And here we can choose freestyle project, okay? There's a pipeline project there. Then so many other projects are there. Most probably we are working with these two projects, okay? Freestyle project and pipeline project. So here we can choose freestyle project, click OK. So this is the configuration part, okay? We need to provide each things for starting our pipeline. So under general, so many things there, source code there, build trigger there, build environment there, build step, post build action, so many things there. So in this case, we need to provide some information of our GitHub and the repository, all things. So first we need to provide project detail. Here in our case, our project is a GitHub project, right? So I'm going to open the GitHub. Okay. It will take some time to load, I think. Now I need to sign out. Sign in with my own account. You all have a GitHub account, right? If not, create one, okay? All of you.
Not it, sir.
Yeah,
Sorry?
we'll create.
Yes, that's one of the main part to create a GitHub account, Docker Hub account. Yes. So in my case, this is my application. I mean the directory. Okay. I mean the my repository. So in this is my repository PHP demo. This is a PHP application. PHP and CSS, the HTML, all are in this. This is my code. Okay, main index.html code. Yeah, this is the code. Right, this is the code. So go back. Yeah. So I'm configuring this part. Okay. So first we need to provide. I'm choosing GitHub project. Okay, because in my case it's GitHub. So when we choosing GitHub project, we need to provide the project URL. Where we get the project URL? Go to the GitHub page. This is my project URL. You got it. Copy the project URL. Go back. Paste it here. Okay. Now the first part is done. Then leave the thing and go to the source code management. Okay. Under source code management, none and Git there. In my case, the Git is our option. Okay. Choose the Git. So we need to provide the repository URL. Okay. So we need to copy the repository URL. Just to go back. And this is here we can see a code option. So this is the repository URL, okay? So copy the thing and go back. Copy. The HTTP is copy, okay? Paste it here. Failed to connect to repository, error perform Git. Okay. This is due to the Git. We didn't install Git in the Jenkins server because we are now in the Jenkins server. Okay. So go back to Jenkins server. Where it is? HTTP. Yeah, this is Jenkins. So just install yum install Git. Yeah, Git is installed. Yeah, and I will share the GitHub URL. Oh yeah, we install the Git, right? So we just close the thing and again add the repository. Paste it again. Yep. Yeah, it's done. Okay, removed. And we didn't configure the console or anything. Just go down. And under the branches to build, okay. So here we mentioned master. We need to verify is it master or main. So go back to the here we can see it's all our files under the master, right? So it's master. We didn't change anything. And yep, everything is fine. Yeah, under build trigger, okay. How the build trigger happen, that we need to provide. I mean, we choose under the option. There is our options. In our case, how the build trigger happen through the GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling. This means if any code changes or any changes in our GitHub repository, the Jenkins will getting the code from the GitHub. So this part we need to configure. That is this configuration. We need to configure GitHub with Jenkins. So I am stopping this configuration here and go back to the GitHub account, and we need to configure GitHub with Jenkins. How? Just to go to the repository page and go to settings. Here we can see the settings. We configure, I mean, we create a service connection between these two services. I mean, the GitHub and the Jenkins using a service called webhook. Okay. It means nothing. We provide some payload of our Jenkins and it will authenticate, I mean, the GitHub and the Jenkins. Yeah, this is the settings. And here we can see the webhook. See, click the webhook. And here we can add webhook. Okay, click add webhook. This is the way we adding our Jenkins server. Okay, so here you see payload URL. What is a payload URL? The payload URL is our Jenkins IP. Jenkins server IP with the port number. Copy the entire IP with the port and paste it here. Then after slash, we need to mention GitHub dash webhook /. And if everything is done, we can add webhook. And verify, here we need to give a tick, okay. In this case, this hook has never been triggered. Just to refresh. Yeah, it's done. Our service is done. Last survey was successful. So we can say there is a connection between these two are done, okay. So go back to the configuration. This part is done. We enable the thing, all the thing, and integrate with the Jenkins. So coming to build environment, we need to provide the build environment. Okay. In our case, the build environment means is send file or execute command over SSH after the build. Means if everything is done here, I mean the build is done here, then after the build, we need to send the files to the production server over SSH. I mean this service. Got it? This is our build environment here. So we need to, this is the option. Okay, send files or execute command over SSH after the build runs. Choose, and when we choose the corresponding build environment, there will be yeah, it will, we need to provide the things. Okay, it's automatically fetch our production server here. So this is our production server. If we have multiple server, then we can drop down and choose the corresponding server. So in our case, we directly choose the production server. And under transfer, there is a transfer set. Okay, and we need to provide the source file also here. The source file means in our code there is different source files there. I mean, one is HTML. Okay, you can see. Go to the code. Yep, this is the code. Okay, so here this is PHP here, HTML here. Under HTML there's CSS there. Okay, yeah, CSS there. So we need to provide each language here. That's under the source file. So how we mention that thing, this format. Okay, this is a format. So just to click the question mark and we will get the format, copy the format, paste it here. So this is for an example for jar. We leave it that thing and provide the HTML. In our case, there is 3 languages. So copy again, sorry, paste again. The second command is, second source is CSS. And one more thing there. So that is PHP. Okay, fine. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, everything's fine.
Yeah, explain it for us, please.
Sorry?
Explain that part for us by source file.
CSS file or source file.
Source file, like
Yeah,
that.
source file. Source file means these are the files. In our case, there is PHP. This is our index HTML file. That is our one of the source is HTML. The index.php is our another source file. Inside the HTML, there is CSS also there. Bootstrap core CSS. Okay. CSS is using for designing our web application. I mean the web content. Okay. HTML
we
is
need
a
to-
skeleton. HTML is a skeleton of the web application. So inside the HTML, we need to, it's, we need to, how we can say, like adding more features or more graphics contents or anything like that. We using CSS, PHP, JavaScript, so many things in when creating web application. So that's a thing. And in our case, we need to just mention each sources. These are the sources are in our page.
Okay, the star and that directory /. So we need to put the star, right? Like that's why I want you to explain.
Yeah, these are the format. You see, the string is a comma separated list of includes for an and file example 2 asterisk / asterisk then dot the file. We need to specify the file. I mean the which one is HTML or CSS or PHP, anything like that. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So the last thing is we need to specify the root directory. The root directory is, sorry, the remote directory. In our case, we can mention the remote directory is the root directory. So I am put the root symbol. Okay, this is for root. Got it? Mention the after the GitHub production server. All all things are done. Apply. Go to dashboard. We can see our project. You see, this is our project. In real world, I mean, coming to production environment, when we open Jenkins, there is so many projects there. Okay, we need to scroll down. So many projects there. Each project for different application. Got it? So we can see our status here. Just you see, this is not built. Okay, this application is not built. And last success is not applicable. Last well not applicable. Last duration is not applicable. Because this is newly created one. That's why it's all shows like this. So we can two way we can build the application. One is manually. We can here click build. Okay, there's option build now. This is a manual way of building application. The other way of building application is whenever the developer will add some features or update anything, they are, I mean, this is the application. Okay, the developers working. Okay, consider this is the application there. They will add some features or add code or update code, anything happen in this GitHub directory. The Jenkins will automatically fetch the thing. I mean, Jenkins continuously monitoring this repository. Okay, so Jenkins know there is some update there or there is some code changes there. So what will happen in Jenkins? Jenkins know the things and Jenkins automatically getting the code and build the code. Then Jenkins push the code to the deployment server. Okay, so that's called as continuous integration and continuous deployment. So the Jenkins will do all the things we didn't bother about thing as a infrastructure guy. If any issue there, we need to go and do the things. Otherwise, we didn't do anything because we set up all the infrastructure, okay, using the CICD pipeline. Got it?
SonarQube is not.
No. I am not integrating SonarQube here. This is just for a continuous integration. How the continuous integration, how the continuous deployment works. Okay, that's why I mentioned in this lab. For the full end-to-end CI/CD, we will include SonarQube, all the things, Docker Hub. Got it?
One question, sir. In the Jenkins, how this process just now you showed, the same way the other tools like Ansible and Terraform, and the same way the process is the same or the different way?
Jenkins is CI/CD tool. Ansible is not a CI/CD tool. Ansible is a configuration management tool for automating. Automating. For example, there is 10 server. Okay, there is 10 server in AWS account. There is 10 EC2 machine. So we need to install HTTPD in each 10 server. Okay, how we do that? We log into the each machine, then install a thing, then log out, then log into another machine. I mean second machine, then third machine, fourth machine, fifth machine, then last is 10th machine. It will take so many time, right? So for
Yes.
that scenario, we can utilize Ansible. because Ansible is a configuration management tool. We install Ansible in a single machine and create a Ansible playbook. And inside the playbook, we add the 10 machines. I mean, there's called inventory. Okay, we collect all the machines details and save it in the inventory in the single machine. I mean, where we install the Ansible, and a single command we can install the HTTP or the Apache to the all the machine using a single command using Ansible. For the same scenario, we can utilize the Ansible for different deployment. It's a infrastructure as a code tool like Terraform. Got it?
Thank you.
And yeah, Jenkins is CICD tool. Yep. Both are different tools and different scenario we are using. So our pipeline is done. All the integration parts are done. Then first I will create manually. Okay. For example, if any issues there, we can see just to build now. Just to go back to the dashboard, we can see, yeah, our application is building. You see under execution status. Yeah, it's in progress. Yep, it's some warnings there. It's not yeah, it's unstable. We can see the console output. Okay, what's happening? Yeah, this is the output of our build. This is finished unstable, SSL connection confirmed PowerShell server. These are done. Okay, we start this job started by the user. The username is Taufik. Now I mean I am building the application, right? So it will show the application built by Taufik, running system, building environment, all things done. It will cloning the app repository. This part is done. I mean integration. I mean the GitHub part is done. I mean Jenkins will getting the code from the GitHub, all things. And we failed here. You say error exception when publishing exception message permission denied. This is denied because we need to provide some permission, because in our case the Jenkins is deploying, I mean pushing the code to the var directory, some directory, right? HTML, I mean var www HTML we provide when we configure the production machine, remember. So Jenkins can't go there and push the code to there. There is a permission issue there by default. So we need to go, I mean, we need to log into the machine, HTTP, this is machine. And we just to go to the directory var www. Yeah, now the HTML file is there. Then we need to modify the HTML. Okay. With which one is 777? So HTML. Now I am doing change the modification, read write, okay, for the HTML, this HTML, okay. So I'm again run the thing, go back, build it now. Yes, you see it's success. Transfer file, all things done right. Go back, dashboard. Yeah, our application is success. So we can, yep, using the, this is a production machine, right? Copy, paste, click here. I think we need to start the service. SYSDM. We need to start the HTTPD, okay? So it's inactive. We need to start the service. That's all. Now go back and just refresh. Yep, it's done. You see, this is our application. Okay, we deploy using CICD. Yep, this is application. Okay, this is a sample application using HTML, CSS, and PHP. We can copy any application in our GitHub. For example, any completely application, graphic application, any application. But we have the content and we need to keep the content in the repository. That's all. So this is a sample application. So this is done. Okay. I mean, we have a code there. That's the sample application, and we deploy using CICD tool Jenkins, and Jenkins will trigger the thing and push the thing into the production server. So consider this is the application version 1. Okay. I mean, this is application version 1. So after 1 week or 1 month, we need to add some features to the application. I mean, this running application, this application. So the developers will do the things, right? They will clone the repository to their machine and they will add the things and push the code to back to the main repository. At the same time, the Jenkins will build the thing and push the code, I mean, image to the production server. That's called real world CI/CD pipeline, right? So we will check, okay, how the thing, I mean, work. Okay. So now I am as a developer. Okay. Now I am as a developer, and this is my index.html. I'm just editing the index.html page. Okay. So here we can edit. This is the edit option. GitHub is not responding. Yeah, now it's done. Okay, now I am in the editing page. Okay, so we can edit. Now the content is demo datadog 2. Okay, so I am just editing the thing. Line 53, where is this? Yeah, this is the line. Okay, I'm just editing the heading. Okay, so how the commit happened? Just commit changes. Okay, you can see here commit changes, and we just commit change. Okay, again at the same time we just go to the Jenkins dashboard. You can see there is a build queue there because this build queue done by the GitHub. It's running. Yep, it's done. Just to go back there. The third run, done by the GitHub. Okay. You see, started by GitHub, push by Taufik. Push means who pushed the code to, the commit done by Taufik, and started by GitHub. And go to the previous build, the second build, started by the user Taufik, because I am the user in GitHub. Okay, so I built manually, so that in output all the things we can see. And the last thing here, Datadog, just to refresh. See, this way the CI/CD flow works. Okay, if any changes in our center repository, it will automatically build and deploy by our CI/CD tool, and it will we can see the output like this. Same way we can consider applications or anything like, we downloading application in Play Store or App Store. All the things are done by the pipeline nowadays. Got it? Anyone have any doubt?
You click in the sign up and the password, is it going to work?
No. This is a simple application, not a database or backend, anything like that, to store up the thing and log in. This is just a demo.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone have any doubt or in clarification? Then we can discuss. Otherwise, we can wind up. Now, for the weekend, you are all do the same things. I will share the entire code and the repository. Then one thing is to create a GitHub account, all of you. Because without a GitHub or any repository, we couldn't create any CICD pipeline or anything. Got it?
I have one doubt in yesterday's class. Can you show me how we scale up the server? EC2.
You mean manually,
Yeah, let's say
right?
Yeah. Yes.
We got a error while running the Jenkins that insufficient memory or something. So we want to change it from T3 micro to T3 small or something. How to change?
Okay, I will. Yeah, here you see one of my server is stopped. So after stopping, we need to manually scaling. Okay, this scaling is called vertical scaling. Okay, we just add up some resources only, like CPU or CPU core or RAM. Okay, first we need to stop the machine. In my case, there is 2 machines stopped. Just I am utilize that machine. Then choose the machine. Go to instant actions and go to instance settings. And here we can change instance type. Here we can change any machine type. Okay, so just type T. So here we can see T2 medium, T2 large, T2 macro. You can choose any type. Okay, now I am degrading the machine. Okay, just using T2 small. In my case, the machine is currently T2 medium. Now I am changing to T2 small and downgrading to lower version. The Minikube is now you see T2 small. Okay, same way you can scale up and scale down. Got it?
So I have a question. Generally, when do we use auto scaling in load balancer? Can we use in this scenario as well? Like, or do we, use auto scaling as a minimum as 1 and scale it up to 4 servers kind of a thing?
Yes. For example, we need to deploy application. Okay.
Scroll down there.
We need to deploy application. Deploy application. For deploy application, we are mostly spin up 2 machine. Okay. This is a mission 1. These are the identical mission. Okay.
Scroll up.
And we need to set up a load balancer in front of this machine to distributing the traffic. Mostly application load balancer. Okay. ALB. Okay. And sometimes the traffics or our memories or CPU utilization is high. The same times the users count, the traffic is high, we need to scale our machines. Okay, so in load balancer we need to mention all the things. Our desired state is 2 machine, and if the CPU utilization or memory utilization is high, we need to scale up our machine. Okay, So all
Yes.
things we need to
Yes,
add
yeah.
in our application load balancer configuration. So if the criteria is, I mean, met any the requirement is met, then the AWS automatically create another machine like this. Again, spin up the machine. We
Auto
provide
scale
like
option we
Horizontal scaling గురించి చెప్తుండు.
అవును కానీ
this is the
ఆటో
example of
స్కేలింగ్
horizontal
ఆప్షన్
scaling.
మనం ఏమన్నా ఎనేబుల్ చేసుకోవాలి కదా.
అవును.
This is the example of auto scaling, and I mean the horizontal scaling, and here I am done vertical scaling. You got the difference.
Yes, yes.
Horizontal
So
scaling,
in auto scaling, if one of the VM gets
Plus-
down, then it can automatically, pull up another machine.
yes, because we provide our desired state is this count or any count. So this thing maintain the desired state.
Hmm. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yep. Anyone have any other doubt?
One quick question.
Yeah.
The auto scaling is possible when you have containerized application. If it is a virtual machine, there is nothing like auto scaling.
Mhm.
Can you confirm like auto scaling is a possibility when you have a cluster and you uh, when it is containerized or when it is a cluster, right?
Mm.
So
I don't think so. VMs can be auto scaled.
VM,
Oh, okay.
VM can
Okay.
be auto scale, containers can be auto scale, and Kubernetes cluster is auto scale. Oh, everything. For example, when we're deploying pod, okay, our replica set. Under replica set, we need to specify our desired state. For example, our previous section, our deployment is replica is 3 or 5 like that. So that's our desired state. Five pods are there, and each pod there is a container. Okay. These, I mean, that 5 pods are identical resources or application instances. Got it. And there is an option in Kubernetes like auto scaling. HAP, horizontal pod scaling. So using horizontal pod scaling, we can auto scale our Kubernetes cluster. I mean, not cluster, our pod. We can add a pod and provide all the things in HAP. These are infrastructure,
understood.
right? Virtual machine container, all things we can scale and scale down and scale up. No worry about that. That's one of the features of cloud and the infrastructures. And the Kubernetes feature is what? Auto scaling, load balancing, deployment, all those things, monitoring, all those things done by the Kubernetes. That's one of the feature we define and we explain Kubernetes like this.
I'm getting confused. Can you set up your VM like 10 VM like EC2, 10 EC2, and then you configure auto scaling and without Kubernetes and Docker so that this can work on its own?
I didn't get the question actually.
Can you configure your VM with auto scaling without
Yeah.
Docker, without Kubernetes in AWS?
Your question is, did I configure auto scaling with the virtual machine, right?
Yes, but without Docker and then without Kubernetes, not Docker, without Kubernetes, and then
I got the question. The one thing we need to keep in mind, like these three are different types of infrastructure. Okay, We didn't compare with each other or we integrate each other because virtual machine is one of the infrastructure. Okay. Container is another type of infrastructure and Kubernetes is the next level of infrastructure. That's all. We can scale each one. Okay. No worry. We can scale out or scale in all the things. I mean, virtual machine or Kubernetes or container, anything we can scale up and scale down. Okay. Individually, we can scale up and scale down. Don't compare. I mean, don't integrate each things or anything like that. Each
Yeah,
all
I
are different types.
mean,
Yep.
yes, I mean in AWS without Kubernetes.
AWS without Kubernetes.
Yes.
I didn't get the scenario actually.
No, I think he's asking like, only without any DevOps concepts in AWS, can we do an auto scale of VMs?
Yes.
I think that's the question.
That's not under the DevOps part. I mean the virtual machine. That's all under the cloud engineer part. Okay, we configure.
Yeah, that's the completely AWS can take care. That's what he's asking.
Yes.
AWS has a concept of auto scale.
Even the when we create the EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service, at the same time when we creating the EKS, the EKS service automatically creating load balancer. You all mentioned that right? It will automatically create VPC, subnet, load balancer, all the things. But we didn't bother about all the things because we just using the command line and just EKS, it will create the cluster and the node, that's all. So in background, all the things done by the EKS service. Clarified or confused? Coffee, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Any other doubt? All are fine. Everyone.
Yes, I am fine.
Okay. Yeah, then we can wind up, right? I think time is time's up there, right? 11:45 or anything like that. Then we can wind up, right? If there is no question, then we can wind up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are good, sir. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Then happy we can see all of you in Monday, right? Then bye all of you.
Same to you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.